Let's go. Come on. Tonight, it's Live with Vince Eliot. Live with Vince Eliot. Tonight on Live with Vince Eliot, the financial physicians Erika, Lowry and Dashaun Draper. Is there a doctor in the house? And keeping the show on track, it's co-host Erika Mack. Erika Mack. Who's the Mac? Let's get it.
Come on.
Welcome.
Yeah. You know what? I used to say every time I come on, I'm so excited to be here. And, when you hear people say the same thing every time, you really don't know if they mean it. I'm excited to be here. What's up, Erika?
What's up, man? So excited to be here. It's a good day.
Welcome to the show. Yeah. Welcome everybody. If you're joining us live or whether you're watching on the replay, I am Vince Eliot and she is
Erika Mack. And
we are on Live with Vince Eliot today. We got a great show as always, with great information, education, inspiration, motivation, and a few laughs. Last week we talked about Forex trading, and we talked about not just Forex trading, even though that was the main subject, but we talked about the mindset behind building wealth. And so today we're going to continue with that same mindset, and we're going to talk about something different that I think most people, Erika, they probably don't think about life insurance in the way that we're going to talk about it today.
Definitely not as an opportunity of building wealth. So I think that we're going to get some great information today.
So we'll do some our house cleaning things as we do. Anita says, hey. Anita's always checking in, or she checks in pretty regular anyway. I don't know if she's always checking in. But what's up, Anita? And then we are going to encourage you and others that are watching, please go ahead right now, take some time out to share this on your Facebook page, share it, YouTube, whatever you're watching from. In fact, by the way, today is the first day we're not only sharing from this page of the Facebook page we've been sharing it from, we're also sharing it from the Vince Eliot Facebook page. Yes, there's a The Vince Eliot Facebook page, but more importantly, eventually where we're going to get to is we're just going to be broadcasting straight from YouTube. So what I really need you to do, if you haven't done it already, is go to YouTube and subscribe. Search for The Vince Eliot. When you do that, hit the notifications bell. That way you will get notified every time we go live, and you will also get notifications if we put up videos. It's going to come a time where we're just going to put up videos other than our live show. So you want to be notified for all those types of things. Well, that being said, I just want to, reflect on this past week because it went by kind of quick for me. I don't know about you, Erika. What happened between the last time we met and this Friday with you?
Oh, well, a lot has happened, but for the most part, I just like kind of chilled out for as much as I could have. But
Hmm.
you have work, you have the news, you have things happening in the world that like you like. Are people really doing this? Yeah. So I was just out there checking out what people are doing. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I did pretty much this week.
So you wasn't hanging at the club, getting it in, like,
Absolutely not. No clubbing, no clubbing. Who has
you,
time
you
for
didn't you
that?
didn't dip to the after hours joint, and was up in there throwing them up, how just
Yeah,
making it rain, all that kind of stuff. You weren't doing it.
absolutely. In my prime day, I was doing that, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah. We talk about our days of old, man. There's a lot. We could do a whole
Uh,
show on what we did teenage years and 20s. I don't want to go back there.
no, no,
Anyway,
no.
so this week for me was a very busy week. Got a chance to do some things that I love, which was get on some sets, do some production, actually on set, recording some things, and then actually coming back in house and doing some editing. So for some clients, so everything was cool. I worked a jib, haven't done that in a little while,
Wow,
and
Jim,
yeah, man. If you
how'd that
don't,
feel? How'd
if
that feel
you
for you?
well, if you don't do it on a regular basis, you get a little rusty. So I was doing the best I could, but I know sometimes they was like, "Ooh, that shot. Wait a minute, that wasn't smooth."
Hold on.
But hey, I
That's
did the
always
jib.
fun. That's
Yeah, I
always
did the
fun.
jib for these guys before, and the fact that they called me back, I must have did something okay or, or right or whatever. But yeah, man. Shout out to Detroit Out Loud because that's one of the sets that I was on. Detroit Out Loud. Just give them a quick plug. Is a community organization that highlights people of Detroit with talent. So we had, people on there doing the jit. These dancers were straight up legit. Man, they were so good. I wanted to get out there and try it, but
Of
I
course
knew I
you
needed to
did.
be. I never did the jit in my life, so I wasn't about to try to start that day. We had a
Right.
young lady, I forgot her name, but I'm gonna try to get her on the show. She was very good, played the guitar and sang. She was great. We had a couple DJs, on and on. We had elderly couple, I'll say a senior couple that was teaching ballroom. So yeah, it was great, man. So it was a great
So was
time.
it like a TV production or was it like a filming?
Well, normally what they do is they do, this in festivals and things like that, and they do it live. But because of COVID, taking down everything, they had to record in the studio, and then they're going to
Oh,
put it up on the site. So yeah, you might want to Google Detroit Out Loud. They should send me something for that. I just gave them a heck of a plug. No,
absolutely.
but
No.
actually, that is that's something that's up under Quicken Loans
Okay.
umbrella, I
Oh,
believe. Is it Quicken Loans? I hope
so it's like a community outreach
I got
type.
that right. Loans are DTE. Damn, I got to mess it up now. I don't know who is. Yeah, but
Don't
if
mention
you Google
names.
it, you'll find
So
out.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
was that
yeah,
like
yeah,
their so is that like their community outreach type programming
yeah,
or
yeah,
things like that?
yeah.
Oh,
They fund that.
okay.
Yep.
I like
So
that.
yeah, got to meet some great people. Summer, and I won't go into a whole bunch of names because I'm gonna forget somebody's name. Jasmine, she's over that. But yeah, so other than that, the weekend was busy and all of that type of thing, and got to, like I said, a lot of work during the week, all the way up until this show. Sometimes get ready for
Absolutely.
the show all the way up to the last minute,
Yes.
when we hitting the play button. So if you only knew what went on behind the scenes. So listen, welcome again to the show, everybody. Just want to remind you guys to go to YouTube channel, subscribe, but also we're going to need your input tonight. We're going to need your comments. We're going to need your questions because we got some great guests today who are what they like to call themselves as financial physicians. They're financial professionals, but when they say financial physicians, that means they going to work, they operating, and they are helping you to break down. Because, I like that term financial physicians because a lot of times our finances are sick. And I don't mean that in a street slang good way. I'm saying those finances are in trouble. And so you need a doctor to come in and say, okay, like you would go to physical doctor, you're not eating right, you need more exercise. They come in, they help you. We'll talk more about that later
So they
because
they build up your immunity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll talk more about that later because I think it's really important to have the proper mindset going into this conversation. So we'll get to that in a moment. But I want to make sure that that everybody, if you haven't done it already, that you share. Did you share? I'll wait. Hold on. Give you a couple seconds. Do I have some Jeopardy music? No, I don't have no Jeopardy music. All right. So you shared it. Okay, we're good. All right. So now, Erika, you got a segment that you do that you're going to start doing, and it's called.
I'm working on. Yeah.
You working on?
I'm working on.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Erika with a new segment in other news.
News you may or may not be.
Now we got to do that right. Let's do it again.
And now for news you may or may not be able to use. News other than Trump, COVID, or civil unrest. It's in other news. Live from one of our remote studios, it's news anchor Erika Mack.
Woo, that intro was hot.
I'm feeling it. I'm liking it.
Yeah, I don't even get an intro like that. What is the deal?
Well,
Man.
Well, in other news, this week we had voting. Did you go vote?
Oh, yeah, I just threw my sticker away today. I did vote. I had evidence of that.
You had
evidence. I did vote.
Good.
Yes,
I did vote. So glad you voted. If you didn't vote, you have no right, right? To give them all up.
Right, no, you can't complain.
You cannot complain. But here's what really threw me this week. I saw this week headline that said college students cannot participate in absentee ballot because they did not know where to buy stamps.
Wait a minute, stop.
Can you believe that? They did not know where to buy stamps.
All right, Erika, look.
Somebody is pulling my leg. They have to be. What do you mean they did not know where to go and buy stamps?
Erika. I mean, I know we doing in other news, but you ain't got to make up no stories. I mean, let's do some news that's actually out there. I know you're not telling me that these students didn't know where to buy stamps.
Did not know.
What generation is this? Generation Z, X, Y? What generation we on?
Millennial? Anyone from 39 and down, younger. They said they did not know where to go and buy stamps, and I said, "My gosh, what is going on in the world?"
Okay, so here's my issue. You don't know where to buy stamps. I get it for other stuff. I mean, you don't know how to use a rotary phone. That was before your time. Rotary phones weren't around when you came up. But stamps, that's been around for a while. See, and this is what it reminds me of, when I hear stuff like this. If you go on, these sites where people are publishing jobs and you look at the job descriptions and all that kind of stuff, one of the things that they say a lot of is they're looking for someone with this college degree, this bachelor's degree. These are the type of people that you're looking for. People that don't know where to buy stamps. I will run circles around your college degree, bachelor's degree person who just comes out of college thinking they're going to be able to do something that I've been doing for 30 years. But you're going to get a person that doesn't know. In all seriousness, these people are coming out of college and they're not ready for the real world. They need to bring back Voc Tech and these trade schools. They need more trade schools and all that kind of stuff because that's ridiculous. So,
I'm a true believer of that they actually need that, the home ec, the Voc Tech, all of that, because those are the basics of life. And the fact that you did not know where to go and buy a stamp to send off for your absentee ballot,
right?
There.
Well, we're not going to put that on all of them. I'm sure that some of them know how to do that.
It's not all of them, but it's a lot of them.
Oh my goodness! So let's help them out. Let's help them out. Listen, there's this place called the post office. All right, so it's real simple. All you got to do is go online. I know you know how to go online, right? All right. So you go online, you put in post office near me, right? You do that. It's going to give you the address. You go up there. Just listen. Just take 50 cents with you. That's all you need. Take $1 just to be safe.
You need
take 51, right? Yeah, 51 cents. Take $1 just to be safe. Yeah. Walk in there and just walk up to the counter and say, "They told me to come here. I want to mail something, huh?" And you give them, the $1. They're gonna give you a stamp, and you walk out with that stamp, and then you're gonna place it on the envelope. All right. So
they'll do it for you. They'll do it for you.
Yeah. Just give them the letter. Give them the letter and $1. That's it. That's all you got. But they got to learn. Maybe they got to watch another show so they can learn how to address the envelope. We got to talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else is going on? We'll spend time on that another time. What else is going on in other news other than Trump, COVID, and civil unrest?
Absolutely. What else is happening out there? Well, how would you like if your only special daughter decided to bring home a pregnant stray dog?
No, I wouldn't like that too much.
I know you wouldn't like it because why? Dogs don't like you.
Well,
But not in
anyway,
that sense. But in a positive, negative sense. I absolutely get it. But this lady found a stray dog, took it home, and it was pregnant. And not only was it pregnant, but it had 15 puppies
whoa.
in 2 days.
I'm sorry. Did you say 1.5?
1.5.
15 puppies.
15 puppies.
And how quickly did the dog have the babies?
Within, and it was 2 days. 2 days.
Oh, she got more than what she bargained for.
Way more.
Oh
She
my
said she saw
goodness.
the dog panting and looking very thirsty and hungry, and so therefore she felt the need to take it home. And matter of fact, she didn't take it home. She took it to a friend's house. She took it to a friend's
Oh, that's a
house.
real friend. That's a real friend. Because you would
And
have came to
her
my house.
friend-
That ain't happening. You better
and her
take that.
friend-
Listen, now here's the problem. A female dog, we know the proper name for a female dog, right? And we would be able to use that name, but it's been abused so much that I don't want. See, I got my little nieces and nephews watching this show, and I don't want them picking up the word and using it at church, thinking, they say in the proper term, and then people be like, clutch the pearls. They would really be, in trouble. So
and the
I
bastard
think,
watching the mouth out.
but here's the part of the story of people not looking at, right? This is another case of a brother leaving the woman with the babies, and then somebody else got to pick up the tab because he ain't doing his job. Where's the male that planted the seed for these 15 puppies? Where he at?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? He out making more puppies.
I'm about to say he's gone off to another.
He done got with another. Oh, I can't say it.
Another dog.
another bee. He out just getting bees pregnant. What's up with that? That sounds typical. Now, I bet you was. No, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. No. But anyway, yeah. So
they were really cute. They were healthy.
Fatherless puppies.
15 of them.
But the good part of the story is that they're gonna find them homes. I would imagine, right?
Absolutely, they're gonna find them homes. They're gonna what is that? The adopt a pet. They're gonna donate them to them, and then they're gonna
Do you know what kind of dogs they were?
It was a pit mix, so it was a mutt. Yeah, but they were actually kind of cute. But,
what city or state were they in?
I believe it was New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right. If you're watching and you're in New Jersey, go get you a puppy. No, I'm definitely allergic. I can't do nothing.
I'll be broken out and everything. Can't breathe. Help.
Yeah, I used to have dogs. Listen, while we're talking about in other news, you guys, if you're in the comments, if you're in the chat, go ahead and put in where you're watching from. So we give you a shout out and know that you're in here. All right. So you got anything else?
Yeah. Last thing for today. Treat your employees right. We all know about Ellen.
Please.
Show. Yeah. So Ellen put a response out this week in her.
Okay. Wait. Before you tell the response, some people might not know what's going on with Ellen. So go ahead and tell that. Ellen DeGeneres.
Yes, so the Ellen Show, the employees have absolutely been complaining about the treatment that they've been receiving from the production, from Ellen, from those who have been in charge. And so now Ellen is responding, and her response is, we will treat all employees with kindness. No longer will our meetings have yelling in it. No one will be able to yell. We will all talk and use kind words, and everyone will feel welcome.
Now, I got to be honest. I saw this story, and she gave some kind of response like, I wasn't aware this was going on. Come on, Ellen. I mean, I realized that I probably got a 1,000th of your viewership, and you may not be watching. But if she gets the word, Ellen, I'm gonna give you the look. Come on now.
Get the look.
You you on the set. You hear people talk, and they do that, locker room talk or whatever, and people, what's going on. But see, that's a classic move that a lot of leadership folks try to do is I didn't know, I'm not responsible. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it, so they don't get prosecuted and get sued. So that's what her attorney's going to tell her to say, distance yourself from that and act like you don't know, but then you're going to make something happen before people get in filing lawsuits and stuff like that. That's what that's all about. It's all a game. Put
the peaceful word out there, the peaceful word. But I actually believe it, because if you just watch the show and how they be running around on there, I believe it be happening. So,
So listen, that's it for in other news. Erika, excuse me, Erika, I believe you've got a special guest today. Do you have a special guest before we bring on our other guest that you want to interview?
Yeah, you know how everyone has been talking about COVID and how COVID is stopping everything. Well, this week I ran into someone who has a real problem with COVID. He just doesn't do. He just don't believe that COVID has given his due respect or anything like that. So please welcome Mr. Common Cold.
What's happening? I'm up in here. Yeah. Don't
Hey,
call
welcome to the show.
and don't call me Common because I don't want to be confused with the rapper. You know what I'm saying? I got my own identity. Just call me Cold because I'm cold.
Well, let me start by asking you, Cold, why are you so upset with COVID?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm so upset, man.
Absolutely, but okay, calm down.
No, because this need to be heard. You know what I'm saying? No, check this out right here. Everybody talking about COVID-19, coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? I'm Common Cold. I've been here for years. You know what I'm saying? Me and my sister been here doing the thing for a long time. But see, Corona come around, or COVID, or whatever you want to be called, and now he got the spotlight and all attention. The only reason he getting all this attention is because he doing too much. He taking people out. See, when me and my sister was doing things, we wasn't taking people out. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. So you mentioned your sister, but who is your sister, and why does that bother you so
Oh,
much?
everybody know my sister. My
Who's your
sister,
sister?
listen, my sister's name is Influenza. Y'all know her as flu. We've been doing damage out here for years, yo. Come on now. That's how we get down. In fact, this is the other problem I have. COVID is out here doing damage, and you ain't even doing nothing for you, messing up the community. Unemployment is up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing for you, tearing down the economy. Me and my sister, we make the economy better.
So you and your sister make the economy better. How you guys make the economy better?
How we make the economy better? Come on now, just look around. Listen, here's how we flow, right? All right, every time we give somebody a cold, you know what I'm saying? Every time we give somebody a cold, what they do? Huh? They go out and buy some orange juice. Bang, cha-ching. They go out and buy some water. Cha-ching. They go out and they buy Dayquil, NyQuil. Thank you. Yeah. Y'all can give me a thank you for y'all sales going up. Dayquil, NyQuil. Yeah. And then here's the other thing. You don't see COVID remedies to ease the symptoms all on the shelf. What do you see? Our name is on the boxes. Look at a Dayquil box and see, don't you see me and my sister's name up in there? You're going to look up in there. You're going to see cold and flu. Yeah, that's right. We got recognition on the boxes. You don't see COVID relief. Do you see that on the shelves? No, they ain't put no money in nobody's pocket. Go to your pharmacy and see whose name you see. Huh?
Okay,
Talk to me.
Cole.
Holla at your boy.
Okay, Cole. On that note,
Yeah.
we're gonna go on.
Oh, well, no. I ain't through. I ain't through. Yeah.
What else you have to say?
Well, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I want my respect. I want to be recognized because they act like nobody else can get any other kind of disease or any type of virus. You know, if people get me, right, they go to the hospital and instead of admitting that they got me or my sister, they say, oh, you got the COVID-19. You got the COVID. No, I ain't done. Here's the thing. I love doing what we do. We got symptoms that you can recognize. You know what I'm saying? You get a runny nose. Matter of fact, you got a nice set of nostrils on you, sister. I'm just thinking about, what? Huh?
You saying COVID don't give you a runny nose?
Man, COVID weak, man. He weak. Man, I wish I would see COVID in the streets. Man, he weak.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Listen,
All right.
I'm gonna tell you something else too. This is why LL Cool J made a song after us. You ain't heard it?
What's the
He
song?
said, Mama said knock you out. You know why that's our song? Because in the beginning say, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Yeah, you know the song. Act like you know. That's what I'm talking about. Don't call it a comeback. Yeah.
Thank you, Cole.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cold and
Moving on.
influenza up in this piece. Yeah, y'all better recognize. Yeah. Act like you know. You better tell somebody.
Thank you, Cole. Have a good day.
Hey everybody, Vince Eliot saying thank you for tuning in. Real quick, I wanted to invite you to become partners with us and contribute to our success. Our success is your success. One way that you can do that is by subscribing to our YouTube page, The Vince Eliot. Click on the notification so that you are notified when we go live or upload new content. Secondly, please share this broadcast with your family, friends, contacts, Craig and them, Cud and them, share with everybody. Lastly, you can contribute to the success of the broadcast with a financial contribution of only $1.25 a week, $5 a month, or $60 contribution for the year by using the Cash App information that's on the screen, $ live with Vince Eliot. So thank you for helping us to bring information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs to the world. Oh. Thank you.
And we're back. Thank you. You there?
Oh, wait a minute. I done got on the wrong set. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me go.
Are you there?
Let me go back to the right set. Hold on, man, for a second. You know, they exposed me. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Let me.
I was wondering if you were there.
I'm not on the right set.
Well, welcome back, guest. We're back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, what had happened was I stopped.
Cole took you out. Cole took you out.
Yeah. That's what it was. I went by and trying to see what was going on with Cole. But anyway, so check it out, y'all. Today, we need to really have an understanding of why today's topic is so important. And I don't want to give it all away because my guests are going to do a great job at doing that. But I need us to understand something. I need us to understand that when we're talking about life insurance and we're talking about financial planning and all these types of things, we have to change our mindset because I would say we've been actually hoodwinked, ran amok, all those things, that people, wealthy people and successful people have been doing for years. And we've become complacent with it. We don't like anybody in our business. We don't want to go to a financial consultant or professional because we don't want them all in our business. We don't want nobody telling us how to spend our money. If I want to do this, I want to do this. It's my money. I work for it. And that, my friends, can lead to or be a poverty mentality. So I would caution you guys to be open-minded about doing something different than what you are accustomed to doing. To get something different, you're going to have to do something different. And I'll leave you with this one last thought before we introduce our guest. I read something, and it was, I think it was on Facebook. It was really interesting. It was like, some of us will wait a year to get a 50-cent raise. You know, I told you last week I was working temporarily, and the guy said, in 6 months, if you work really hard and you come to work on time, you'll get a 25-cent raise, guys. And he was really excited after 6 months. So in a year, you'll get 50 cents. Some of us would rather work and hope to get that 50 cents after a year rather than take a couple $100 or $300 or whatever it is and invest that money in something. Instead, we'll go, oh, no, I don't know about that. That might be a scam. That ain't going to work. I got to work too hard. But you'll work hard for somebody else. So we need to really change our mentality. And that's not true for everybody. I know that some people get it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and welcome our guest. And we're going to do it in true Vince Eliot and Erika Mack style. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get my notes because I want to make sure I do these people justice in talking about who they are and what they do. I'm just going to because we don't have the big teleprompter budget yet, right? So we're just going to do it like this. Let's go for it. Oh, wait a minute, I need to turn my music up, man. I told y'all to go ahead and help us hire some more folks. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, my guests tonight are what they call themselves as financial physicians, masters in business, and loves to serve and help people, passionate about their community. I have two of the finest in the financial business. I have Erika, Lowry and Dashaun Draper. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vince Eliot.
Quick devil mare.
Well, I don't know if that was the best intro. I think it was pretty good, considering that, I didn't have time to tell all your business. But welcome to the show. Welcome to Vince Eliot. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, your evening to join us. I know that there are a lot of people who express that they are interested in finding out how they can build wealth from life insurance. We'll get in that in a second, but I think we need to talk about life insurance in its totality and not just how you can get money for yourself. We'll talk about the the more common area about, for your family and all that type of thing. But first, just, go ahead and introduce yourselves to people and tell us a little bit about yourself, and, and then we'll go from there.
Hi guys, I'm Dashaun Draper. I've been doing financial planning over a year. Have a huge background in just customer service, helping people. I love serving people, trying to do things in the community with our culture, just to educate them. I feel like that's the biggest thing right now, making sure that we're educated so that we can do better as a community, as a culture, and, leave a legacy for our family.
I'm Eric Lowry. I actually work with Dashaun. So we come from a similar background. I was in retail, also working with customer service, and I really got a really big huge satisfaction from creating total solutions for people. So I wanted to take it to the next level and jumped on board with Dashaun, and now we work together and looking to change some lives and educate people with finances.
Well, as you reach to turn your volume down, because we're getting a little bit of feedback, I want to let people know that, this guy here makes me feel a little old, because I know his family well. We lived down the street from each other years ago, and he was about 4, 5, 6 years old playing the piano. We used to play basketball down at his house a lot, and I know his brothers and his sister, and they got a basketball family. And so I used to come down there. Of course, back then, teenage years, you played ball wherever you heard a basketball dribbling in the neighborhood. And so that was one of the spots that I went to. And I believe the entire family played basketball at some point. Mom, dad, sister, brothers, everybody. I think I dunked on everybody except for Mom. I didn't want to be rude, but anyway, let me see. Where was I? Oh, okay. Wow. No, I didn't dunk on everybody in the family, but I did beat his sister one-on-one. I know that may sound, I know what y'all thinking. Oh, you beat a girl. No, listen, she was one of the top 5 in the country. And that's a whole nother story, but I digress. Anyway, so yeah, seeing this young man grow up to be a financial professional, is something. So you still tickle the ivory a little bit?
I do, actually, yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's multi-talented, playing the piano, and I would imagine by now, so, it's been a couple decades at least, if not, 3 decades, I would say, since then. And you probably a concert pianist or something now, huh? Hello? Did he freeze? I thought you were going to comment. Okay, I thought you was going to, go ahead and brag a little bit. See, what y'all don't know. Now, listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. Eric is trying to play the WB Frog. He is a ham. He is a talker who he talk more than me. He is a trash talker, and now he's trying to sit back because he's a professional today and got his tie on. See, Dashaun is nodding. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let you off the hook and get on into this tonight. Let's just start off this conversation talking about misconceptions, or what people, a lot of times, their fears or concerns with getting life insurance. What is it that people should know that you want to, what myths do you want to debunk?
I think the biggest thing is people just think it's a scam. They say, a lot of times it's the delayed gratification. So they're like, why am I paying into a system or a program that I don't see anything from, unless, there's a death, which is like the most false thing ever, because there's a couple of different things that life insurance can work for you. So, we're going to go in depth into, whole life policies, which can create, cash value for you. But, me and Eric were just sitting here a couple hours ago. We were kind of going over some illustrations, but life insurance can be used for so many different things, because, yes, it's for burial expenses, which is what mostly people use it for, but it can be used for, debt. When that loved one passes away, it can be for that debt. It can be for, college tuition, so that your kids don't have that debt left onto them. It can be for, paying any household expenses, so that person was the breadwinner. So I think a lot of times people are just like, why am I going to pay for something for just a death benefit? Like, that's, I think, the biggest misconception, that it's only for like burial expenses.
Yeah. I used to have the attitude, look, when I transition, don't pay nobody. I mean, what they gonna do? I mean, they ain't gonna come dig up my grave and be like, bruh, can I get that? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't make my people pay for it. They ain't had nothing to do with that debt. I got that debt, but that's not really the right way to go. Eric, you were talking about, when we were talking earlier, that, people, you made so many great points. How people do the GoFundMe's and things like that. You was like, that's really a pet peeve of yours. So talk about that a little bit.
It would be piggybacking on what Dashaun was saying. When you have a GoFundMe page, you got to think about the fact that they're just trying to bury someone. But what about the income replacement and how are they going to move forward without that person in their lives, right? It's already going to be some emotional distress, and there's going to be a lot of things to piece together on how you're going to have your future put together. I mean, that's really the main point. And that's why I feel like without life insurance to be there to supplement, what's going to happen to your family? What are you leaving behind?
Right.
That is so important to take care of your life, the things that you love, your family, and leave a legacy behind for them, because that is something that we need to do for our people. I mean, this just makes sense to actually continue to grow something and build something so that not just your kids, but your kids' kids can have a future before them. It's about setting that foundation.
And a lot of things too, I think people, there's different types of life insurance. So, and it's kind of like what's best for you and your family, but there's certain types of life insurance that are not that expensive. So I think a big misconception too is that it's very expensive. So, getting with the right person and getting the right goals and what you're trying to get out of it and what you're trying to achieve, you can come up with a plan, because we're holistic. So when I say holistic, we look at overall, what are you trying to do for your whole future, for you, for your family. And we kind of come up together with a plan that fits good for you and try to, financially make it beneficial, that it's going to work for you. So, for you and for that family going forward. So, it just depending on what that is and what that looks like for you, the price can be, minimal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to say, we talk about the life insurance, but it's more than that. I mean, anybody can run out and just say, okay, I'm going to pay X number of dollars a month to get a life insurance policy. But as financial professionals or physicians, as you like to say, there's more to it than that. Before you go and just drop down some money on a policy, how do you approach getting people life insurance? Like in terms of, helping them with their finances so they can. Yeah. So we had talked earlier about, people need a financial plan to find out what they can afford, with life insurance. And so you guys do more than just sell them life insurance. You actually help them with a financial plan. I want you to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So typically on our first meeting of when we meet people, we want to kind of get to know them and make them comfortable with us as well. So we kind of go over 3 different pillars. So the 3 pillars are going to be risk management, wealth management, and then wealth preservation. So we would like to start with risk management, which is going to be that life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care, because protecting yourself is the biggest asset. So we want to make sure that is taken care of. And so with that, we do a budget. So we do we try to take people through a real life scenario of what their expenses are going towards, because what I've seen with a lot of people is, until we sit down and go through those like mechanics of what is going out of your pocket every month versus what you have coming in, and then us coming together to say what you're comfortable spending, we can go to the next step of saying, okay, this is the plan we're going to make with you, but we're always doing this like holding your hand. Like, it's not like I'm just going to make a recommendation and you're not in agreement with me. Like, we want to be in a partnership with you. This is part of building a relationship, So we go from that risk management part to, okay, so next we want to work on retirement. What does retirement look like for you? When do you want to retire? What do you want your retirement to look like? How much do you want to come in? So we look at that. And then from there we go to, okay, so we need to make sure you have, wills estate planning, all of that set up. So, that legacy of that family, what's going to come to them? So we kind of start from, the downhole of life insurance, but we go all the way up to retirement. And then, to when you're not here anymore, what's to go with that, all that income as well.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to know, do you find it that people are generally reluctant to do financial planning?
Yes.
Great question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think people are interested in learning more about finances, but generally when it comes to health and finances, people really don't want to go into details about being, their personal business. However, if we don't really know exactly where you are financially and you're giving us goals that you want to actually achieve, we need to have a real life sit down on where you are so that we can help you achieve these goals, because that's what we're here for. We're here to make your dreams a reality, to protect the things that you love, and to make sure that you live the best life possible, because this is the only ride that you get. So we are trying to sit here and have a relationship with you, because as Sean said, we're going to be doing this, it's not like we're going to be like, here you go, bye-bye. We're going to be in a relationship, making sure that we stay on track and that you're actually achieving your goals. That's why we're in this service business. We are trying to actually make you have the best life that you can have. And I think that's what I'm passionate about with this job. So,
well, if you're just joining us, our guests tonight are Eric, Lowry, and Dashaun Draper. They are financial physicians. Yeah, financial physicians. As they like doctors, they go to work like a doctor. Oh, y'all don't know nothing about that. Let me stop. I was about to do some cool Mo D. Anyway, we're talking to them about life insurance, and we're not just talking about the traditional life insurance where the way I knew it growing up. In fact, I never did mention this. My father, that's what he did, life insurance. He retired from should I say the name? I think they got a different name now. But anyway, he did 30 years of life insurance, and then he came back in his retirement years and did it as a contractor. So wow. We always had life insurance. So yeah, we were well versed in that. But as a kid, coming up, I didn't know nothing about how I didn't know like you could build wealth from life insurance. I didn't get concerned about that till I had a family of my own. So yeah, go ahead if you're in the chat, go ahead and put some comments in. Put your questions in, and they'll be here to answer them. So let's get into some of the dig down a little bit deeper into the information. What is it that you think what is it that you want people to know as it relates to life insurance? And then of course what we want to know is how you can build wealth. So I'll let you start with what you want to start with, and then we'll go from there.
You want to start?
Sure, you can start the slideshow.
If you could, if we want to just pull up the slides, and then that way we can kind of jump in there and talk about it, so that if people have comments or questions, they can go ahead and bring it up and we can address them.
All right.
Okay.
Vince, I also like that you said physicians, because that, referring to us as physicians is kind of like how you go to your doctor. A lot of times when you go to your doctor, you're not comfortable disclosing those things to your doctor either, but you want them to fix you. You
right.
want to make you want to be whole. You want to get better. So you have to disclose like what's going on with you, what type of problems. And that's the same thing in our arena. We have to know what you have going on so we can, help you. So I getting people in that mindset of saying, we're here to help. And so that's why I think it's so important in this business to build that relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
All right.
Okay. You can go ahead and, that's just the introduction slide. So you can go ahead and slide past that for me.
Okay.
Okay, this is just a quick slide just to let you know that, we're actually just educating today. If someone wants to actually, sit down and have some counsel with us, the consultation is free. Our information will be going across later on. So this is just to educate today. That's making disclosure agreement.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can go ahead and move forward. Okay, so as Sean was saying, we're financial physicians. So what we look at to make sure that your financial well-being is intact is pretty much seeing that you have control over day-to-day, month-to-month finances. having the capacity to absorb a financial shock like losing someone or a fire, anything like that, being on track to meet financial goals. Because I mean, the reality of it is we hear people, that have goals, but you have to actually, start putting pieces together to build that goal and make it a reality. So we want to help with that, make sure that's intact, and have the financial freedom to make choices that allow you to enjoy your life. So I think that is the key of what we try and build for our customers. You can move to the next slide.
So the biggest thing is, you can go to the next one, Erica. I know a lot of people know what life insurance is, and simply put, it's just that financial protection for your loved ones. So you can go to the next one. So there's a couple of things that can be done with life insurance, and we kind of discussed it before, but income replacement, debt elimination, or paying for future expenses. So beyond just that burial expensive, but what else are you leaving for that loved one when you're not there? So these are deep dive things that we're kind of going to go into, how you can have life insurance do that for you.
Okay, who should consider life insurance? I mean, anyone that has loved ones that that depend on them financially, or someone that you love, like grandparents and their grandchildren, or anyone there. Those who anticipate a future change in family status and want to lock in protection while they're still young and healthy. Children, getting insurance for children is extremely important to me. But let's move forward. We'll get into that as we move on.
So there are two basic types of life insurance, term and permanent. You can go to the next one, Erica. So term is pretty much just for a specific time, you have insurance, and after that period of time to end. So we kind of try to relate term insurance to renting like a house. You rent it, you live there, but once the lease is up, you don't own it, you have no value in it, it's done. The difference between that and then permanent life insurance, you can go to the next one. Okay. Permanent insurance is lifetime protection. So it's lifetime protection. You usually pay for it in a certain amount of time, and then it's paid for. And then the big thing, which we're going to talk in depth today, is the cash value component of it. So you have the potential with this permanent life insurance to build cash value that you can use for various different things in the future.
Let me ask a quick question. What is the major benefit of term life insurance? Because, first thing comes to my mind is, okay, I'm going to get something for 10, 20, 30 years. I mean, and then I outlive that. Now it's going to be more expensive for me to get some more insurance when that runs out. So what's the benefit of doing the term life insurance? Is there a delay? Are we hearing it?
Yeah, well, we can double team it. So
okay.
I'll start saying, when we sit down with someone, some people, everyone's going to be in a different financial situation, but everybody should be covered with insurance. So term insurance is lower in cost. So that means that if we're working on a financial plan to build your wealth, and you don't, we work within a budget, and you can't afford to get a large whole life policy, term insurance will actually insure you and make sure that you're insured. And as we work the plan, that term goes, that price is going to be more affordable, because one of the things that life insurance has to be is affordable for our clients. Mm-hmm. And so we don't want you to have insurance and then you're not able to live and do your daily duties and be able to have an income that will work with that. So I'll let Sean finish up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to piggyback off what Eric said. Yeah. A lot of times what I like to do with clients is I try to, if it's a reasoning or, as we're working through their plan and it's not feasible for them to get a whole life policy, I try to start them off with, a term and a whole life, a smaller whole life, just because so they can start building on that permanent, so that they can build the cash value, but they can lock in, like if they have like major expenses or things that, would be a problem if they did pass. And a lot of times, like we have term insurance policies that are convertible. So that term policy, you can take at certain intervals, you could take some of that term insurance and convert it to a whole life policy. So it's not all lost a lot of times with the term policy.
So Josh says, so from what I understand, life insurance is not just a funeral plan. It's actually an investment opportunity when you come together with someone who understands the literature and benefits the general public is unaware of. Sounds good to me. So he's speaking more of the permanent, because there's there's no cash value in the term, as Tiffany stated. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
So it is still beneficial, though. If you want to pull up the next slide, I can kind of tell you a little bit more about that. So we were just talking about the comparisons and the differences. If you look at it, even if you have term insurance and something happens and you're trying to leave something for your family or whoever you want to leave your legacy to, neither on the term or the permanent insurance, a lot of the time, mostly all the time, it's tax-free. So you do not have to pay Uncle Sam for that benefit that's coming out of there. The only difference is, like with the permanent insurance, it is for the life. It's going to continue to grow in value. And there is we can't guarantee the cash value growth. However, the dividends and the proof from our business do show that it does accumulate.
And I don't discount the term as well. There's been a ton of people that, with term policies that are very well thought out, that, they've been able to send kids to college, based off of it, because in the event that a parent has died, that they've, calculated enough money in that term policy that, they were able to pay off debt. They, kids could still go to college and debt free. So there's, when done correctly with the right amount, because that's the one thing we like to sit down and come up with a correct amount of how much life insurance do you need, and not basing it off of a burial, but in the event you're gone, what would this insurance do?
Well, I always like to, when I go shopping for life insurance, because I've had, switch policies and everything before, I always tell them I want enough for my wife and children to be able to be okay, but I don't want too much for her to have incentive. You know what I'm saying? I don't want.
Oh, no.
In other words, if I end up in the hospital and there's an opportunity for them to save me, I don't want her thinking about that. Like,
pull the plug.
I did have him long enough. Maybe this thing could work out better if, I just go ahead, because he want to be with the Lord anyway. Bless his heart. Let him go ahead and just, enjoy life, because he don't need to be down here with all this COVID and everything. Just let him go ahead. Now, I don't want that kind of thoughts going through her head. So we got a question. Tiffany says, it's not really a question. She said, do this. No, she says, please explain what universal insurance is. I don't know if that's going to take you off course. You want to come back to that later, or you want to deal with that now?
That one, because it's more personal, or what you're wanting to do for you. So that we would have to, go more into detail and sit down with a specific person.
Yeah. And by the way, since you mentioned that, we want to make sure people have a way to reach out to you. So we'll put this up periodically. You got 2 email addresses here to reach out to these guys and get more information. You guys are located in Michigan. Here's the thing. You can work with people whether they're in Michigan or whether they're in Cambodia somewhere, right? That now means yes. This is audio and video. So reach out to them. Go ahead. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if anyone has questions where we need to get really personal, or you're interested in a consultation, just please reach out to me or Dee, and we'll definitely get with you, and we look forward to it.
All right. Yep. And then we'll put the phone number up later. We'll put this up periodically. So I want to let you get back on track, with what you were going with next, because I'm waiting for you to get to the part that I've been waiting on. And that is, how can a brother get paid? That's what I want to know. While I'm here, while I'm still here. That's what everybody want to know. Talk to me.
Right.
So you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what can permanent life insurance do? So you could go to the next one, Erika. Permanent life insurance can be like an investment, because you can do a couple of different things. Like you could do retirement planning, college funding. It can be a source of cash or credit. So we didn't share it with Erika and Vince, but I ran a couple of illustrations before we got on. And the illustrations that I'm talking to, they're going to be based off of an individual person, but just categorized. Like I ran someone for a 50-year-old. So say you did a whole life 50-year-old policy. We did it for a $200,000 death benefit. So say I think when I pulled it up, let me see, I took a picture of it. In 10 years from now, that policy would not only be the death benefit, would it only be $200,000? It would probably be about a $300,000 death benefit, and then you would have a cash value of about probably like $150,000. So just because the dividends that pour into it, they grow every year. And when I say dividends, because we're not a stock company, we're not correlated with the stock market. So whatever is going on in the world, like right now with COVID hitting, you won't see anything happening to your policy. You are pretty much like you bought into, our company with buying a whole life policy, and you're going to get paid out dividends. And those dividends are going to be that cash value. So the longer you leave it in there, the longer it's going to grow.
Well, here's what I want to know. So if I cash, take that 150 out and I go and, fulfill my youthful, things. I want me a Corvette, or I wanted me a bigger house, or I do whatever I do with the money. And then right after I get through partying, I croak. Will there be any money left for my family after that? I mean, can I have it all? That's what I want.
No, that's the thing with the cash value policies, because it's twofold. You get a death benefit and you're getting that cash value. So you can pull that cash out and you can do one or two things. You can pay the money back, put it back in there, or it could just be gone and you still have that death benefit that's going to pay out to your family. And say you didn't croak away, say you took that money out and you lived another 10 years, you can continue to grow and grow more cash value that's going to be there, that's going to be attached to that death benefit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, listen, folks, if you just joined us, we're talking with Eric, Lowry, and Dashaun Draper. They are financial professionals. They are financial physicians. They're like doctors. They go to work on your finances. They help you with life insurance, and you can get paid off those life insurance policies. It's not just for the people that you love. After you leave, you can have it all, as you just heard me say. We're going to talk more about this after a really, really short break, right after this. Hey, everybody, Vince Eliot saying thank you for tuning in. Real quick, I wanted to invite you to become partners with us and contribute to our success. Our success is your success. One way that you can do that is by subscribing to our YouTube page, The Vince Eliot. Click on the notification so that you are notified when we go live or upload new content. Secondly, please share this broadcast with your family, friends, contacts, Craig and them, Cud and them, share with everybody. Lastly, you can contribute to the success of the broadcast with a financial contribution of only $1.25 a week, $5 a month, or $60 contribution for the year by using the Cash App information that's on the screen, $Live with Vince Eliot. So thank you for helping us to bring information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs to the world. Oh. Thank you. We are back. I am Vince Eliot, and she is
Erika Mack.
Erika Miggity Mac, Big Mac. And we are on with Dashaun Draper and Eric Lowry, and we're talking about getting paid. That's how I'm going to say it. We talking about getting paid. No, we're talking about life insurance, and we're talking about how you can, there's just so many options that you have. You got term, you got permanent, you got make sure your family's taken care of. You can build wealth while you're alive and use some of that money. Send your kids to college, get you a new car, do whatever you want to do. That's your money. And guess what? I got a question, because they say that when you pass the money on to your family after you die, it's tax-free. So I got to know, is it tax-free if I pull the money out before I die?
Yeah.
Oh, you stuck
Great
me with
question.
that one.
Great
Yeah,
question.
you can also use it as collateral. Like if you go and you're looking for a mortgage, that cash value could actually be used as collateral to show that you do have credit, you do have funds. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's very it's smart.
That's a good thing. It's tax-free, which a lot of people don't know. So Eric's going to talk about one of the other things that we love to discuss is children and whole life insurance policy. So he's going to talk through an illustration with that.
All right, let's go for it.
The children are our future. So, well, actually, I'm going to talk about this illustration. You can leave that up because we'll talk about retirement after this. Sean talked about the 50-year-old policy. I just want to talk a little bit about like if you have a 2-year-old and you get a policy on them, a $500,000 policy. By the time they turn 34, it's going to have a cash value of $177,000. Wow. Now, if something was to happen to them at this point and they needed to, use the total death benefit, it would be $964,742.
Whoa, wait a minute. Back up. I'm just going to say, repeat that. That's all I want to hear. Just repeat that. Go ahead.
Okay. The cash value. So this is on a policy.
No. Start from the 2-year-old. You put how much down?
Start from the 2-year-old. So let's make it sweeter. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about it. It's a 12-year policy. So you're going to pay for this policy for 12 years and you're going to stop paying. This is going to continue to accumulate in value as as long as they're living and it's going, right? Mm-hmm. And when they're 34 years old, the cash value that they have not done anything to get except exist would be at $177,792.
After 12 years. Yeah.
The total death benefit, if this 34-year-old had just started a family and, heaven forbid something, happened, there would be $964,742 left for their family. Your legacy that is continuing to be able to the next of kin. Which at that point, we would sit down and, of course, hopefully, they don't go do what you did and go buy a Corvette. And they would sit down and reinvest and make sure that they keep taking care of their families and their families' families. So that's where I was at with that.
So now I'm not sure. It's sort of like what I was talking about earlier. I mean, you put that out there, and there's some parents that, especially in those teenage years, you'd be like, "Ooh, I could lay hands on you. I can lay hands on you." You'd be thinking, "I got one more year to pay on that policy. Let me wait."
Well, I would think more. You would think about the fact that, like, I thought hopefully they get a scholarship. If they don't, I have put some investing together, because we would, sitting down and doing the holistic thing is what we do. However, there's different lanes that you want to be in to get everyone and get your family where you want them to be. So of course you are going to have those times, but if you think about it, hey, all they got to do is get 18, right?
Right.
They got to get out the house, right? You got to go to school, but what if they can't get to school? Oh, let's look at that cash value, see where that is.
Right. Yeah.
The first couple semesters out the way, bam. But let's say they get a scholarship, they get out of school, right? They get their first job, that cash is still accumulating. They need some down payment money, or, hey, mom, dad, I want to get start my own business. Let's look at the cash value instead of you looking in your bank account, right? Mm-hmm. You've already done the investing. You've already put, protecting your child's life and laying the Easter egg for them moving forward. So I think it's important to look at things. And I get it. You're right. This is real life out here. But I just look into the fact of the long game of setting up your children.
And the other big thing, too.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is locking in their insurability, because when you do it so young, when you do life insurance policies for kids, you're ensuring that they're insurable. Things happen to kids as they get older. Illnesses, ailments happen. The thing is, the longer you wait for getting life insurance, the harder it can be and the more expensive it can be. So, you start them at 2 years old, you're locking them in. They have that policy for the rest of their life. So, that's one of the things too with kids, because I've had that happen to me with a couple of family members that, they have sickle cell or, they have diabetes once they get older. So luckily them having those life insurance policies when they were younger and they continue to grow is like a safe set for them.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what Naomi was talking about. She said the policy pays for itself. She doesn't have to pay anything. Is that what you were describing earlier?
No,
that's something different.
I didn't see her question. Sorry, I didn't see her question.
She says that I think I have this type of policy my grandfather set up for me. It even pays for itself. I don't make a payment.
Yeah. So there's a thing called waiver of premium as well. So a lot of people get that on their policy. So say, you get sick or, hurt, injured, and you can't make the payments. The waiver of premium, which is usually just a couple of dollars on your policy, it's going to continue to make those payments for you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you got another slide you want to go to? You say you want to talk about retirement? Is that what you said?
You want to get into that?
Yeah, you can go to retirement.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
So another thing, cash value policies, it can be that supplemental retirement income. So like we were saying, if using that 50-year-old, you wait to 65, 75, and you have that cash that's kind of accumulated in there. You can do one or two things. You can pull it out as income just to take it. You could use it for long-term care. Say you need to go in a long-term care facility. You could take that cash out, use it for long-term care. Or there's other things that you could do. You can take annuity out of it, and it can pay you monthly, just like you're getting a monthly payment every month that's coming from that cash value. So these are things that, when we're sitting down with you and we want to know, what do you want this policy to do for you, that we can set it up for you.
Okay.
You can go to the next one.
So,
yeah, those are all the same things. One sec.
Yeah, pretty much. You said that. So, cost of healthcare.
Yeah,
we already covered that. You can go on. Consider your value.
So how much do you need? And this is so we do this thing called Life Happens. And so on the Life Happens app, we have our clients kind of go through, what you want the life insurance to do for you. Burial, do you have any major life activities that are going to happen, like weddings, graduations, you want to buy a house, so we can know how to feed into that life insurance. Then we also look into what is your annual income, so if we're replacing that for a loved one. So there's a couple of different things that have to go into the factor of how much you need, because I think a lot of times people are just like, oh, I need $100,000, but they haven't really sat down to say, why do you need $100,000? Like, what does that cover? So I think being very intentional about what you want the life insurance to do for you and how much that actually is going to cover.
Okay.
So I think the next thing, Eric, you want to talk about, because a lot of people, the other big misconception is employer paid benefits. So
yes, we hear this a lot when we ask people like, hey, do you have a current policy? And they'll say, oh, I have one through my employer. Well, one of the things that happens is, you generally get a good rate on group insurance or through an employer because you don't really own that. Sometimes it's not portable, which means that you're paying on a policy. And if, they let you go or you change to another company, a lot of times you're not able to take that policy with you. So we never say don't take advantage of the fact that you can get a policy through an employer. But when you have something that is yours, that you have and you own it yourself, and you're not renting a policy that if something possibly happens, I mean, it's really, in your best interest to do so. You need a fail-safe for a fail-safe, right? But a lot of people don't know that when they change employers, a lot of times you cannot take that policy with you. And now your insurability is, you're getting older, and it's just something to pay attention to. And that's why a lot of times we want to sit down with people and just educate them. And that's why we're here today. So you can move to the next slide.
So a question about that, the policy that the company has on you, do they continue with that policy after you leave the company if you should move on to another company?
No, it's done. So sometimes it's portable. So sometimes you can pay a fee and you can take it with you. Sometimes you can convert it. And when I say convert it, that means you can convert it over to, what they're offering, but it's a lot of times at a higher price. So it makes more sense to just come to, like a financial professional and get rated and go through the whole underwriting process with us, because it's going to be less expensive. Because when you're converting it at their price of you as one individual versus a mass.
Well, here's what I'm talking about. I think it's called, I used to know it. It's called, starts with a C, the type of insurance that the company, like if you work for, say one of the motor companies or something like that, they'll take out a $300,000 policy on you or something like that. If something happens to you, they give your family $10,000 or $30,000 or whatever they give them. And then the company will keep that money off of the policy. And I'm drawing a blank. It starts with a C, the type of insurance that they take out on you. But I'm hoping I'm jarring something in your memory so you can know what I'm talking about. But companies take out policies on their employees. They give the family portion of the benefit, but then they take that money and they, I guess, invest it or whatever they do with the money. Does that sound like something you're familiar with?
sometimes I've seen it like if it's a key employee, like if say, it's a top employee, that the employer will take out a life insurance policy on there because they want to, in the event something does happen to that employee, that they are covered, and they do pay it out, and they keep a percentage of it is going to go to them, and a percentage does go to the family. So that would be in the instance of like a key employee for the company.
Okay, I think it's called I want to say COLI, or some corporate-owned life insurance, and it goes into a whole nother area of insurance where, as long as you have an investable interest, I think it's called, or something like that, you could take out interest on something. So in other words, you just can't walk around and say, oh, that guy looks like he don't have long to live, I'm gonna take out insurance on him.
Right,
you can't do that.
Yeah, it has to be someone that
insurable interest. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So either they have to be an employee or a family member or something like that, and then you can take insurance out on them. But from what I understand about corporate-owned life insurance is that they will take out a certain amount of insurance on you, whether it's $300,000 or whatever it is, and they will pay the insurance policy. And then should something happen to you, they'll give the family a little something to bury you, but then they make the couple $100,000 and they'll roll that into their business, and do things like that. And so so my question was directed earlier to say, they take out that insurance policy on you. Once you leave the company, do they still have that insurance policy that they can keep paying on because you were an employee at one time?
No, because once you're gone, that policy doesn't exist anymore. Because like I said, it's on that exact employee. You have to have an insurable interest, and if that person is not there anymore, they don't have an interest in you. Right.
Okay, so it ends at that point. Okay. Well, look, I want to kind of wrap up to the points, the finer points you want to hit, because I want to make sure that we give people an opportunity to ask you questions, and then they understand that you're located in Michigan. If they're in Michigan, they can come and see you, but understand that you can take care of them just as well if they're in Kansas or they're in Virginia or in California, on and on. So let's go ahead and hit, a couple last final points that you want to hit, and then we'll see if there's any questions, and we'll move on from there.
That was pretty much it. I mean,
okay.
On in on that, that cash value, letting know how it works. The best thing to do, if you guys have questions, is to reach out to me or Eric, because everybody is different, and how to make that work for you guys. It's just, working it in your plan and what's feasible, but how to make that grow for you, which is the most important thing, and, how it can be effective. And like I said, this was just like one aspect. Like there's a lot of other things that we discuss and go through, if there's, IRAs, investment, long-term care, just a lot of other different things, but life insurance and becoming wealthy on it. I think a lot of times people had no idea. So, telling them there's a cash value option that, you can actually grow money from, and you can take out tax-free and, use it however you please. I think that's a big point.
Well, that's huge. That's all I came to the interview for, was to find out how I can get paid. I just wanted to know, how I can get paid. And I love the fact that you guys are financial planners, or financial professionals, and like you said, financial physicians, because it's more than just the life insurance policy. You really need a holistic approach so that you can understand how much you can afford. A lot of times, you'd be amazed. Well, no, I shouldn't say it to you. We would probably be amazed at how many people don't have a budget. How are you living without a budget? Oh my goodness. I'm guilty, because I used to do that in my younger years. It was like I pay my bills and all the rest of the money be in my pocket, so that wasn't necessarily the way to go. And then, I got one of those things they call a wife, and she was like, no, we need to budget, so a lot of guys be acting like they got it together, but then when that wife comes along, they tighten them up a little bit in different areas, depending on, I got friends of guys that, that budgeting was, they do that well, but there's some other area that the wife going to help me. I digress. Anyway, so listen, guys, I want to first of all thank you guys again for being on the show. All the wealth of information. People can reach you at this number on the screen. Call them, write that number down, 248-208-2706. I'm doing that for the visually impaired. 248-208-2706 is the number that you can use to call them, or you can email them at elowry@financialguide.com or Draper at financialguide.com. Guys, this was a wealth of information. I know you just tapped onto the well just a little bit, got a few drips out because, there's so much. And then the thing is that it's an individual, personal process. So you really need to reach out to these guys and contact them to find out how they can help you, whether it's with life insurance, financial planning, retirement, on and on and on. I just named 3 of them, and I know you guys do even more than that. So if you have not subscribed, you need to subscribe and subscribe to YouTube so that you can get notified. You hit the notifications bell on when we're going to go live or when we're going to put up other videos. I'll give you guys the last word. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks for having us on. I hope that people take the opportunity to reach out just to make sure that they are protecting like I said, my favorite thing to say is protect their life, because you're your greatest asset, the people they love, and build a legacy. Just have a conversation. It's a free consultation. I'd love to help. And V is awesome. So we'll take care of you. So come on and let's build a legacy for your future and your family.
Yeah, I think, people, they really have a hard time. Sometimes people do. Smart people, I'll say, they know, what, I need a financial planner. And it's not about how much money you have. Whatever you have, you need to plan that out. If you say, right, I'm just making from check to check. Well, maybe if you had the financial planner or financial professional, you wouldn't be living check to check. So, that's something to think about. And then that life insurance, we can't say enough about that. But I will leave it there for now. If you are watching on the replay, you are welcome to make comments. You are welcome to make questions. We will forward those questions if you're watching on the replay. But you got the information right there on the screen. Go ahead and email these guys and ask them the questions. Now, if you have questions about the show, then you can do that by emailing or contacting me through the YouTube or what have you. So you guys got all the information. Thank you. I'm going to let you guys go. If you can stick around backstage, go ahead and do that. Eric and I will close it out. Thank you again for being on the show, and we'll talk to you in a second. Erika.
What a show.
Yeah. All I can keep thinking about is how I can get paid. Maybe that's the wrong approach.
Of course, we all want to get paid, but the reality is we need to get our stuff in order. That's what the reality is. And, it's just good information to know that, hey, you can have this policy and it goes a set amount of time, and then you can build a cash value off of it. And a lot of times insurance is not explained to us as that. It's always explained as, you need life insurance to bury yourself. And so to just know that, from the age of 2, that is important information. If you had that information probably, when your children were younger, you may have already done it, but college will be paid for now.
Yeah, don't remind me. I could have, I missed that boat. So,
right. But we all do, because it's not necessarily explained to us in that shape, form, or fashion. So,
right.
I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and listen, if you guys are coming late to the show, y'all, we putting some stuff in the beginning of the show on purpose to have some fun before we get into the serious topic. We had a guest on today that we probably should never have back again. His name was Mr. Common Cold, and he was upset that COVID was getting all the attention when he'd been out here doing work for years, and nobody's talking about Common Cold. Every time they go to the doctor, it's always they got COVID, and they don't give no credit to Common Cold and his sister influenza. So, he was ridiculous. You can go back and watch it if you haven't seen it and you came in late. So, Erika, I think that's it, man. I think that's a wrap for today.
Wow.
I do want to remind people that, listen, if you watched last week or if you missed last week when we talked about the Forex trading, then you need to reach out to me, email me, let me know that you're interested in the Forex trading, and we'll give you the information. It's not going to cost you anything to get more information. I'm not going to do a masterclass or free webinar or webinar or anything like that. I'm just going to get you the information through a Zoom meeting so you can ask all the questions you want, and you can make your decision from there. And then as you saw on the screen, we need your support. So we want you to reach out to us and go ahead and support us financially. You can also support us by subscribing, but we definitely need your financial support as well, because this show takes money to put on. And so Erika's here helping. That's wonderful. Now I need somebody else to click the buttons so I can focus on the topics at hand.
Right.
Because when I'm trying to push all the buttons and everything, it gets a little crazy, as you might have seen earlier. So yeah, Cash App, you see it on the screen, $, live with Vince Eliot. No amount is too small, and definitely no amount is too big. We will find a way to bring that money down from the Cash App, is should you so desire to drop a $5,000 Cash App. I laugh, but I'm serious. Okay. Anyway, also, we're going to be looking for sponsors soon. So if you are interested in that, you want to go to the email and shoot me an email if you have a business or a nonprofit or something like that you want to sponsor the show. We can send you a package about doing that. Just go to thevinceeliot@gmail.com. And I've done enough talking to where my mouth is getting dry, Erika. I got to go. You got the last word. You got anything you want to say?
Thanks again, y'all. We'll see you all back here next Friday.
Next Friday at 8 o'clock, the show starts, but I always want people to log on at 7:55. Why? Because I don't want you to miss anything. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff in the beginning, and I want you to get all the information you can. Plus, if you come on at 7:55, you get to see whatever little tricks I'm going to put up on the screen. The lemur was dancing today, and the gingerbread man was dancing. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Oh, next week. Oh, man, I really got to tell you about this. Next week, we have a very serious topic. I want you guys getting ready for this. All right, let me turn the music down because y'all need to hear this. Okay, next week, we're talking about mental health. Got a very special guest who's very kind to come on and talk about her real life situation. My guest next week lost her oldest son to mental health. And so we're going to talk about that. It's going to be a very serious topic. It's something that our culture really doesn't like to talk a lot about or get help with. And so she's going to debunk a lot of myths and help us with that. We may have 2 guests on next week. So you want to be here to talk about that we're going to be talking about that from different angles. Mental health. If you know someone, if you love someone that you know needs to hear this, you need to tune in next Friday for the mental health conversation. Don't miss that. We're going to be promoting that throughout the week. All right, so that's all I'm saying about that, and we will see you next time.
Next time.